And I do want to say just a couple things before you do a little bit of exercises. This is like a little bit out of context, 10, 15 minutes of Qigong, just kind of dumping it on you guys. Hopefully some of you have done Qigong before. Qigong is like a modality, you could say, of Chinese medicine that's very much of a standalone on its own. So you could approach it. It's a very deep practice. It's not something you just, flip on YouTube and do a few exercises. It has really deep theory, has deep philosophy, has many, many, many levels to it. And the other thing, with Qigong, a lot of the word Qi can equate with the breath. And so it just sort of denotes or connotes that we're working with the breath and the lungs. And one thing to mention with this time of year is that a lot of people have been focused on the lungs, kidneys, and whatnot for the immune system. That's very important, obviously. But it's also the springtime. And, basically nature's having an orgasm of pollen and flowers and trees and whatnot. And then we're told to sit inside, don't go out, don't interact and whatnot. So that can really stagnate the liver. The liver relates to the springtime. And so one thing I would really encourage you to do is to move, to stretch, to get your body moving in some way, whether it's Qigong or not. And then one thing related to Qigong is that walking particularly helps the liver. And there are Qigong walkings. There's Wolin Qigong. There's Jeffrey calls it Huff Puff Qigong. We do a walking in our circle walking in our ongoing class on Saturdays. That's from another tradition. So there's a lot of Qigong walking, but even just walking, regardless of Qigong, helps the liver and things to move. The other aspect of the liver and the wood element is it relates with the tendons and ligaments. So any kind of stretching and movement of those helps to not stagnate the liver. I think Sissy talked about the liver stagnation some last week. Anything we can do to open up the diaphragm, get the tendons and ligaments moving, that will all help the immune system, but also just help us feel better and operate better. So one thing to be mindful of, if you have any back issues, knee issues, or health issues, just take care of yourself. Be mindful of your own bod. So what I invite you to do is to stand shoulder width. Your toes want to be parallel, your feet parallel. And think about if your middle toe had lasers on it, that they would be parallel. Most of us stand with our feet out. You can't really see my feet with this direction, with your feet out. In this practice, we just want to have our feet parallel and about shoulder width. And just take a second to feel your feet on the ground. Sink the energy into your feet. That just means relax. The Chinese word song means relax, but in Qigong, Tai Chi, and whatnot, it's relax with consciousness, relax with awareness. So if you were totally relaxed, you would collapse. We kind of want to have the structure, the bones, the skeleton upright, and then the meat hanging off, so to speak. We're like the skeleton in the corner. So another thing I would invite you to do is place your hands on the side of your legs. For those that know acupuncture, middle fingers right on gallbladder 31, and then just a little bit open your armpits. Just rolling your arms forward. It's almost like you're sweating a little bit and you want to get air in your armpits without being very obvious about it. So just a little bit of openness. Feel your whole groin area open. Relax into the feet. Picture, imagine, or feel your whole lower basin is heavy. So there's like water or some substance here that kind of grounds you. You can ground through the legs. Think about going beyond your feet into the ground. Your toes just ever so slightly grab the ground. So with that heaviness of going downward, at the same time, there's a counterforce that comes back and your spine is elongated. So there's a little bit of a vertebrae by vertebrae extension through the spine, through the crown, slightly tuck the chin, tongue on the roof of the mouth. And then go back to relaxing, because sometimes when you come up, the energy goes up, so you want to be real grounded in through the basin, through the pelvic girdle, in through the legs, and extend it upward. So we talk about the 3 regulations in the Qigong. That's basically the mind or intention, the breath and body. This is orienting the body right now, regulating the body. It's almost like the antenna when we used to have to adjust the antennas to get the right reception. The more our body's in the correct geometry, so to speak, we can receive energy and we can circulate energy. And right now with the regulating the breath, just be aware of your breath coming and going, not trying to control it, just relax. And then with quietening the mind, I think it's probably the most important thing. If you're not in the zone, so to speak, of quieting the mind. We could be doing jumping jacks or anything. So one thing that can help that is to let your eyes really relax. You're not looking out, just let them really relax. You can gaze down about 45 degrees. Another thing you can do is focus at the base of your nose with the breath coming in and out, not forcing it in any way. Another thing to quieten the mind is just lightly close your eyes, have a slit. Usually when we're standing, you don't want to close your eyes all the way. We can get disoriented in space, and we don't want that. So you can just let your eyes relax and try to listen to your heartbeat. And we can do that again. Just gaze at the horizon, looking really far. Magnetize the sun back to the upper palace, upper dantian, and then it just drops 90 degrees, comes into the lower dantian. And one image they have is like this fisherman at the pond. He's fishing, but he's gazing at the water, but he can see the moon or the sun in the water. So we want to be able to see that reflection of that sun in our lower dantian. We just kind of hold that as we practice. Go back to relaxing into your feet, extended through your spine. Just a few little stretches. Interlace your fingers, breathe in, and then breathe out and just push down. Very dynamically push down. Hold, hold, hold. Then relax. Breathe in. Push down. And very dynamically pushing. Really stretching. And then just hold that. Hold the stretch. It's like you're trying to stretch a rubber band. And then let your palms come out. Your fingers are interlaced. Or hold the rubber band kind of as far as you can without overextending. And just go straight up. Really stretching. Really, really stretching upward. Don't lose the root. If you need to relax, just come here. If not, just keep that extension really tight or really extended. And breathe. Okay, come here and relax a little bit. Okay, breathe in. And then go to the left or right, one direction, just keeping the extension through the hands. Push with your palms. Come back to center. Relax, but keep the stretch. Stretch, don't lose it. Push, push, push out with your hands. Don't lose the root. Pull over again. Extend out through the arms. Come up. If you need to, drop your hands to your head and then go back up. Really engage in the stretch. Don't lose it. This time, just turn the body. Breathe in. Don't let your knees collapse in. You're turning your kidneys and your waist. So breathe in. Stretch. Be mindful of your back. Keep the extension through the arms. Breathe. Extend and breathe out. Come to the front. Keep your arms extended. Breathe in. Turn. Keep extended. Don't collapse your knees. Really stretching. Come back to the front. Relax just for a second. Breathe in and push. This time be mindful of your back. If you're having back issues, don't do this. Keep the extension and bend back just a little bit. And then come center. You can release the breath. Don't release this. Keep that engaged. Heard someone say one time, love yourself enough to torture yourself. This is not the torture. Okay, keep the extension. And if your back's okay, extend out, 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 and go straight down. Keep your legs straight. Go to the floor if you can. And then palms out. Keep the stretch. Don't lose the root. Come up. Back if you can. Release the hands. Breathe out slowly. Keep this stance. Breathe naturally. And relax. So every time you do a motion or you get taxed a little bit, you always go back to quieting the mind, regulating the breath, and making sure your body's in the right position. If you moved your feet, you want to make sure your back is shoulder width. Feel the weight down into your feet. Just standing like this is an exercise. Standing is particularly good for the kidneys. One more little stretch. Let your hands come out in front of you slowly and just kind of place them like you're putting them on a tabletop. And then again, moving your kidneys, not your knees. Don't collapse your knees in. Breathe in and turn, keep your knees forward. And then when you reach the far point, kind of bounce 2 or 3 times. Then breathe out and come to the front. Then breathe in, go to the other side. Don't collapse the knees. Breathe in. When you reach the end point, don't hurt your back, but bounce a little bit further 3 times. Come to the front. Drop the hands. This next one's slightly more demanding. Love yourself enough to taste the bitter. I'm going to step over. Keep your stance the way it is. So this one, we step out into a horse stance. So basically, some horse stances are very wide, maybe like 2 widths of your shoulder. That's usually with martial arts where your energy is going outward. We want to step to 1.5 widths, so it's not too much of a width, just a little bit. So if you look at your shoulders, it's about 1.5 widths. And as you do that, you just sink. There's kind of high, middle, and low horse stance. This would be considered probably medium. This would be high, and then low would be more 90 degrees. I love myself, and I'm not going to torture myself, right? Okay, so put hands on your knees. Thumbs are on the outside. Just breathe for a second. You can watch once if you need to, but you breathe in, then you breathe out. Your whole body goes to your left thigh, then come around to the midpoint, and then breathe in. Body goes to the right thigh, drop your tailbone, and then come straight up. We'll do that again. Try to stay in the horse stance. Don't fold your knees. Think about you're on one of those exercise balls, so your legs are spread open, rounded in the arms. Breathe in. Breathe out. Go to your left thigh. Breathing out to the midline. Then breathe in, over to the right thigh. Drop your tailbone. Come up. Come to the midpoint. Breathe in, and then out. In, drop the tailbone. We'll do the other side. Breathe in and out. Whole body goes to the right, to the middle, left. Drop the tailbone. Come to the front. One more time. Breathing out as you go to the right. Really go over the right thigh to the middle. Start breathing in. Left thigh. Drop your tailbone. Body comes up. Real slowly unbend your knees. Step back shoulder width. And you want to do that all in one motion. Make sure your feet are parallel. Maybe a little demanding. Go back to quietening the mind. Deeply breathing and relax the body. Make sure it's in the right orientation. Your antennas tuned. And then a little bit softer things. So when we're moving our arms up or down, you want to use your feet. And for instance, when this first one, we're going to move our arms up. The arms don't move independently. You want to feel like you're pushing down into the ground, and then your hands come up. And also, we want to have a sense of fullness of energy or emptiness, so to speak, so that when the hands move, it's almost like helium moving them. Okay, relax. Bend your knees very slightly. Push with the feet. Your hands float up. Breathe in. Palms are facing each other there. Really wide. It's like a bird spreading its wings. Collapse back. Palms are facing each other. Turn the palms to the ground. Drop the collarbone. Bend the body just a little. Bend the knees just a little bit. Okay, and you breathe in. Out. In, turn the palms, and out, drop the collarbone. So this time, when you push with your feet, just feel like your hands have helium in them. They come up, breathing in, breathe out, helium takes them out. Breathe in as you compress the ball, turn the palms over, drop the collarbone, go down. One more time, breathe in. Out. In, out. Okay, stay a little bit bent. Quiet the mind. Relax the body. Remember the connection here. When you're breathing in, think about the air going all the way into our little room here, so to speak, the Dantian, lower elixir field. We'll do one more time. So push the feet, hands float up. Breathing in, palms turn, breathe out. Breathe in. Turn the palms, drop the collarbone, and out. Okay, just raise the body gently. Go back to standing, hands at the side, elbows out a little bit. Regulate the breath, quieten the mind. So when you get into doing Qigong, you want to kind of be in a different zone, or like the Qigong zone. It's almost like in the Matrix, they're kind of in a whole different dimension of movement and whatnot. You have to do that first. Sort of the doorway to that is by quietening the mind. Take a moment to follow your breath in and out. And just some simple exercises. So bend the knees just slightly. Push into the ground. Your hands come up, palms out to the sides. It's like picture, imagine, or feel you're gathering outside fresh, clean, clear energy connected to the bike weight point, the crown. And then just guide down, outside leading the inside, or the inside leading the out, either way. Compress into the lower dantian, and then just down. Push with your feet, breathe in. Gathering all fresh, clear, clean energy all the way out in the cosmos. Bring it back into the crown. Guide it down through the center channel, or in through the organs. This time, stop at the dantian. Spiral out the belt channel. Then go straight down the legs on the outside, palms down, and then your fingers face down. Do it one more time. Push with the feet. Breathe in. Gather. Breathe out. Washing all the way through to the lower dantian. Spirals out into the gallbladder 30, down gallbladder channel. You know that, down through the feet. And let the body rise. Sink. This time gathering outward, gathering back to your upper dantian, your third eye, left hand in for men, right for women. Align the palms across from each other and just hold them at your upper dantian. They're about 6 to 9 inches away. Hands are not touching. Just feel the connection. If you don't feel it, that's okay. Then just drop down. A couple more things. Stretch out. Connect the upper dantian, upper palace. Align the Laogong pericardium 8 points, center of the palm. Down. And we'll do that at the heart. Gather out. Bring into the Ren 17 area, if you know that. And between the breasts. Just feel, connect. Guide down. Again, middle dantian area, Ren 17. Down. Okay, the lower dantian, do it 2 ways. Scoop around. Just come around to Ren 654 area. Feel the connection. We can hold this for several minutes at any of the different areas. We'll do again. Circle out. Body can lean forward a little bit. And we'll do one more time just to give you a different version. You can drop your hands. You can drop your legs. Really go down. Think about scooping earth energy up through the ground. Comes up through the legs into the perineum, and then into the lower dantian. We'll do that one more time. So bend down, don't bend over, just dropping straight down, scooping the ground, bring it up through kidney 1, up through the legs, through the perineum, to the lower dantian. Okay, then just circle your hands out, cover the lower dantian, align the Laogong points, So it's almost like you're holding your wrist. Really be aware of your lower belly. So when you breathe in, for right now, just let it expand, but also let it expand in 360 degrees. And breathe out, it contracts in 360 degrees. Breathe in. And out. Okay, so usually when you're coming out of a Qigong zone, it's like when you wake up in the morning, you don't jump out of bed usually. You kind of stretch and move and whatever. So the same thing, we kind of rub our belly one way, the other. Take your hands and comb your hair. Tap the kidneys, under the butt, back of the legs, up the inside, up, this, down the kidneys, butt. Okay, down one arm, up the outside, down the inside, up the outside, other arm. Okay, thank you guys.